Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 7th of June. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, before I look at the euro dollar, just a very quick reminder, today is non-farm payrolls day, so I wouldn't be too shocked if we saw a quiet morning. We've got both the Canadian and US data coming out today, and it's a Chinese bank holiday, and dragon boat racing and all sorts going on today. Anyway, aside of that, it's watch out for later. 1:30 will be interesting. The expectation with the ADP figures coming in quite low, very low on Wednesday, would be for a softer number coming through. There's the expectation of 180,000 jobs created. There was something like that expected on Wednesday, and 26,000 were created. So there'll be a lot of focus on that. Most important, although, is the average hourly earnings. Looking for inflation, expected it to pop up to 0.3 this month. So there we go. That's the jobs due out. In terms of technicalities, I saw a little signal that we might be a little bit overbought on the euro, but we'll see on the daily point of view. It's not too far off. I was looking at this yesterday. We were discussing in the trading room that it may pitch up at some point towards that trend line that's running across the tops there. Quite nice with a monthly R2 indeed as well. Let's see if it gets there. Funny old shape kicking in here, bit of divergence on this overall move that we're seeing here. Perhaps it will roll over. There's such joy at the very fact that they've got problems, but there we are. It did bounce on some the long-term financing situation with a higher interest rate, which makes it better for banks. So that created a market bounce there for the euro. Aside of that, it is well, if you could draw a straight line down the top of that, if it starts breaking through, maybe it'll push back up towards yesterday's highs there. Maybe even the R1. There's a possibility that R1's not too far short then of the trend line I'm looking at. To the downside, if it continues to roll to the downside, well, we just need to look beyond really that pivot sort of area there of 112.53. If it starts selling off beyond that, well, maybe we could be heading for the lows. In the current move, well, there is the divergence, which suggests weakness. This was probably partly built up on the fact of the data coming out yesterday, but it's in a bit of an indecisive move. But with what's going there, maybe it will push to the high side. Okay, that's the euro dollar. The pound, oops, if I can get the pound, would be good. The pound, well, it didn't do too well yesterday. Managed to give back its gains, ran into its daily 21 there. 2 days on the road there, soft bars. There may be a bit more of a push to the upside today. One of the by-elections was not won by the Brexit Party last night, and it may be sending signals that the market will like, not necessarily that everyone in the country will like, but there we are. But for now, it's again similar picture to the euro, just on a very minute scale, and with again divergence sitting there, similar-ish topping here in terms of this U-shaped price action. Personally, I think I'd rather it run to the downside on both these markets, and I'd rather be on the downside of them. So maybe I'll be missing out on anything that pitches up, but we'll see. I won't necessarily cut the nose off to spite the face, but trend line across the lows there, if that starts breaking down, well, be looking towards the S1. I say towards the S1, it might be a bit of a struggle for it, but we'll see. But we've got to bear in mind non-farms today. Dollar yen. Dollar yen bearish flag that's still coming in very tight ranges. Very little volatility sitting in the dollar yen at the moment. It really is just well, paddling along there. Bit of divergence. It sold off for a bit yesterday afternoon, and then we saw the rally come through on it as the market softened a little bit. Other markets softened. Still got the potential to push towards that weekly pivot, I guess. It's looking at this sort of lower time frame, you can see well, yesterday it didn't pitch in and sell off on the lows there, but you can see the higher lows just coming in a little bit there. It's a soft market. Now this may just still push, as I say, it looks at the moment like it could just continue to push to that upside. It seems a bit risk back on, and well, not necessarily to a strong degree, but maybe this could pitch up a little bit further yet, but we'll see. Not one I'd want to be trading because there's not enough points in it for a single day trade. Maybe for a swing trade it's fine. Aussie dollar sitting here again, just day after day in range here, not really showing its hand too much. If anything, if it starts breaking to this low, well, if it breaks the low here, the 34, etc., it's put a lower high in, and it may pitch over eventually towards that weekly pivot. Now, it may be a big ask for it to do that today, to get all the way down there, because it's barely moving anywhere at the moment. Well, I mean, yesterday it just bounced another time off my trend line there yesterday, never broke it. It looked like it might at one stage and rolled it. Well, it's broken it now, but it's walked out sideways. At the moment, as I say, I just think there may be more weakness sitting in there. And the Canadian dollar, it's just it's not one I day trade, but looking bearish-ish. But yeah, it's broken the whole of last month's lows there now. Whether it can hold out is another matter, and I think there is a possibility that it would head towards that daily 200, but it's slow. There is a certain element of dollar weakening and softening, and as I said early in the week on Monday, there was that a lot of these started managing, not so much with the Canadian dollar here, but a lot of them had started actually it did it quite early there. It broken the lows there, putting a lower high in, etc. So on this particular case, higher lows with the others. So there may be a case for more dollar weakness. Okay, that's pretty much that. S&Ps are still enjoying the sun at the moment by the looks of it. Let's just get the dailies there. Still pushing up. Looked like a couple of times they looked like rolling over, but at the moment they're all is joy, and we're seeing a move back towards that 4 hourly 200. Can it do it? It certainly could in terms of distance. I've got nothing against them. There was a lot of weakness we were noticing yesterday, where the momentum had dried out of this move. You could basically see that just looking at the price action, and well, it's got very little. I mean, it's movement overnight really there, but it is still back to the upside, and it's still regained the sort of loss it gave towards the end of the close there, or just after the close there. It's made that back. So if anything, well, possibly an opportunity to the upside later on. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. Watch out for non-farm payrolls that could affect this, of course, as well. Have a great day. Bye for now.